Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. XRP holders are being lied to. Analyst reveals how. Okay guys, let's get into it. Okay, so for you guys who follow my channel regularly and watch my content regularly, you'll know that this is nothing new. I mean, I literally covered a video. I've been doing videos like this for the whole time I started the channel, but like a year ago, where I said XRP influencers are lying to you. So very similar to my thoughts here. And so I just wanted to jump on this because once again, like, I'm always just trying to do my part, guys, in trying to show you, what's realistic and what isn't. And as much as it might give me, a lot of flack, and it does affect my channel's growth. Like that's pretty evident. But it's a thing where I just have to feel like I'm giving you guys the truth. I really do have to feel like I'm giving you guys the truth at all times. So I want you guys to hear this, and I want you guys to just take this in, especially for people who might be new to XRP and that kind of thing, because when you're getting into this space, especially within the XRP community, there's so much misinformation out there, and it's so easy to get caught up in a lot of hype and things that's just not realistic. So let's get into it. So unrealistic XRP price targets. In his analysis, Humphreys, that's the person, Zach Humphreys, by the way, who's talking about this. In his analysis, Humphreys criticised viral claims that XRP could surge to $245, $315, or even $350 by the end of this year. According to him, these figures ignore basic market math and create false hopes among investors. He noted that many influencers promote such predictions to attract viewers and engagement rather than providing realistic market analysis. Humphreys highlighted that while he supports XRP and believes the asset has long-term potential, predictions in hundreds of dollars are not grounded in current market fundamentals. Okay, yeah, so I completely agree with that. This is the thing for me. Like, I am an XRP holder, so please just understand that. Like, I am very bullish on XRP overall, but there's just so much nonsense out there. It's just rife in the XRP community, especially with just unrealistic price predictions and things like that. In terms of the numbers there, I'll be honest with you, I agree with that. I don't think we're going to see triple digits by the end of this year, personally. I just don't think it would make sense to have that much of a jump up. Like, it is way too high. I won't get too much into the weeds of why right now, because I've covered that numerous times on my channel. So if you would like to see my thoughts on things like this, then just check out my catalog. But what I'm saying is, I want to just make this clear. I'm not saying that XRP can't hit triple digits. I'm not saying that that's not possible. I'm saying by the end of this year. I'm just saying it's too big of a jump by the end of this year. Okay, so let's move on. Concern for new investors, and this is where my whole thing comes in terms of the basis of my channel. Humphreys also warned that exaggerated predictions often attract inexperienced investors who believe that holding a small amount of XRP could quickly turn them into millionaires. He said this narrative can encourage risky investment behavior and lead to disappointment when the market fails to meet those expectations. Instead, he advised the community to prioritize factual analysis and responsible discussion around XRP's potential rather than viral price targets designed primarily for attention. That right there is pretty much like the purpose of me doing XRP content. It's for people who are, even if they're not new, it might just be that they don't know certain things, because I came into the XRP community seeing a lot of hype, and so originally I just took it at face value, and then once I started to see dates coming that wasn't being accomplished in terms of the price targets, I said, okay, I'm going to do my own research now, not just get like these things spoon fed to me and then just believe in whatever I see. I'm going to start to do my own research and see what I believe. And once I did my own research, I started to say, like, wow, a lot of the things that I've been told is absolutely garbage and nonsense. And so there's a lot of people out there who might not have done their own research. They may not just understand XRP fully. Or, they might just be in the echo chamber, right? They might just be happy living in the bubble about XRP doing all these great things. Because I've got a circle of friends who are actually involved in XRP. And I remember, like, when I was showing them, like, the research that I'd done, and I said to them, like, look, I've done a bit of research on XRP. Would you guys like me to show you what I found? But I says, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not going to be positive in the sense of what you guys believe, because they all believed in, like, the $10,000 stuff. And they literally says to me, nah, I don't really want to see it because we believe what we believe and we don't want anything that's going to try and take away from that belief for us. Like, we're probably not going to want to take it in. We're probably going to ignore it. We're probably not going to read it. So I said, okay, fair enough. We left it at that. And that was the end of it. So there are people out there who, even if you do try and give them the most sound logic and reasoning of, why XRP couldn't hit, for example, $10,000, they're just not going to take it in. They're not going to, because they want to believe what they believe. They feel what they believe is correct. It comes to things like this, right? When it comes to things like XRP and stuff like that, you've got to remember that this is very much like politics and religion. They're very sensitive subjects. So people who believe in these theories and stuff like that, like, they believe it to their very core, right? And so it's one of these things where it's a very sensitive subject. And that's why, I do obviously cover this stuff, but if you don't want to go with what I believe, then fair enough. But it is for the people who are willing to kind of just listen to facts and analysis to make their conclusion. If people are a bit more open-minded, then this channel's more for you. But if you guys want to just believe like the people who talk about the $10,000 stuff, then yeah, like this channel, you may not really want to watch it as much, because I'm not just going with like kind of conspiracy theories and things like that. I'm going a lot more with like factual data and, actual analysis as to why this isn't realistic for XRP to hit $10,000, that kind of thing. So the next thing I just wanted to touch on here was in regards to here, like, we've had some failed XRP price predictions, and I'm going to call these people out. Now, I will just say this, like, I'm going to do a full video on this, so I'm not going to get too much into these influencers at the moment, but I will just highlight what we've had here. So this is like the top failed XRP price predictions. So we had Jake Claver, who predicted $750, Chad Steingraber, who predicted $250, Crypto Sensei, who predicted $5,769, Time Traveler, who predicted $73,000, Jack the Rippler, $100, Remy Relief, $1,000 to $1,200, and Sistine Research, who predicted $37 to $50 by the year end. Okay, so the thing that I will say is the very last company, Sistine Research, $37 to $50, to be honest with you, was quite reasonable, in all honesty. Even like with triple digits, I'm not saying that I believe triple digits was going to happen, but triple digits is plausible for XRP. For me, it's more when you're talking about like the $5,000. Yes, I would say $750 way too high. $250. I mean, if you're saying like $100, I'm still saying that's a very high expectation. I wouldn't have anticipated $100 regardless. But $37 to $50, if we'd have had like a proper alt season rally, $37 to $50 is actually quite reasonable. It actually is. It's quite reasonable and plausible, to be honest with you. So with that one, like, although they were wrong, this is where I have to say, like, the market has been very strange, right, for this bull run. Like, if we can even call it a bull run. For me personally, I don't really feel like we had a bull run. Like, okay, you can say that Bitcoin had a bull run and a select few cryptos, but it wasn't a proper alt season. I've been through an alt season, and that to me was just not an alt season. There's no way you can class that as an alt season. So if that is the end of the bull run, like that was the end of it, then look, like, I don't know what the bull runs are going to look like in the future, but that was poor. Like, I have to just admit that and acknowledge it. So who knows what this could be. So if we're talking about like past performance from bull runs, $37 to $50 was actually reasonable. Like that kind of percentage gain, it would have actually have been plausible. But of course, we've seen what happened. So whether we are still going to get an all-season rally this year, we'll see. But that was plausible. So for me, when it comes to this, the reason I'm just quickly showing you these influencers who have got it wrong is because for me, as a channel, I've specifically kept away from giving price predictions. And the reason being is because the honest truth is, as you can see here with all these failed predictions, nobody knows. They can all have these predictions, but nobody knows, guys. Like, they're all just guessing. And I'll be honest with you, some of these numbers, they're just doing it for engagement. They are, I'm sorry, but, $5,769, absolute engagement farming. Like, okay, maybe it is one of these guys who's a conspiracy theorist, so he thinks there's all these things going on. But I would think out of the many years that we've had XRP around, they know the deal at this point. I think a lot of these content creators do it because they know it gets engagement, and I do agree with Zach Humphries in that regard. And my whole thing is that people who want this to be true, they're going to take it in. Like, I saw a video and I've covered it already, but there was 2 influencers saying how you only need 1 XRP to be a millionaire. 1 XRP. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't even entertain that with a straight face. Like, it's absolutely insane that you'd be trying to tell people that you can just have 1 XRP and expect that you'll be a multimillionaire. Like, it's absolutely insane. But this is what they will do. Now, again, maybe they believe that. It's insane if they do. It really is, like, completely defies logic and common sense. But, if that's what they want to believe, that's what they want to believe. So, for me personally, the reason why I'm just covering this is because I'm again showing you some influencers who have got things wrong. And I am just trying to show you that I agree that this is the problem, that they will just continue to keep making these predictions. And this is what the problem is within crypto, to be honest with you. Like, because I will be honest, it isn't just XRP that has this, but I think XRP has the most because they have the whole like conspiracy theory of all the banks using XRP, the flip the switch, that kind of thing, or the governments wanting to use XRP. There's a lot more conspiracy theories around Ripple and XRP than there is any other community, to be honest with you. Like, you don't see it nowhere near as bad in other communities. Yes, you do see high, price expectations, but I don't think they're as wild as XRP's price predictions. And there's not as much misinformation that leads them to believe that these things are going to happen to these unrealistic price predictions. And so for me, that's why I'm just kind of trying to show you this, that like there is a lot of influencers out here who have said unrealistic price predictions. Time Traveler is one that I'm specifically familiar with because I actually covered him before, but the video got corrupted. So I actually was going to release a video on that guy, and I'll be honest with you, my video, it wasn't a thing where I was a believer of his content. Like, he was someone who I saw go from pretty much like 100 followers up to like, I think it was like 20,000 followers doing XRP content. And I'll be honest with you, I just felt like it was absolute garbage. So again, him saying 73,000, like, come on guys, like, it just shows you what these people will do because they know it's a money grab. They absolutely know this is the stuff that people are going to see and want to believe. And so it's up to you guys what you want to choose to believe, right? Like, I'm not here saying you've got to listen to me. It's up to you. That's your choice, right? But I'm just trying to give you like evidence and data as to why these things aren't realistic, So if you want to obviously check out my channel, you've got plenty of videos that I've covered about XRP and $10,000 and why it wouldn't happen. You can go and watch my content. I've done numerous things on it. So there's no point me explaining it here. Like, I've got full videos that you can get enough analysis from to understand my logic and reason with that. But yeah, like, it's up to you guys what you want to choose to believe. I'm not saying that you have to believe me. It's up to you guys if you'd rather believe people like the Time Traveler or Crypto Sensei, etc., believing like the thousands of dollars. That's up to you guys. But my thing is just be careful, because this is evidence that a lot of these influencers are getting things wrong. They are. And so some of these are just doing this because they make money out of it. You've got to understand, for some people, this is a career, right? I've carried on with my channel, even though it's been such a, slow performing channel, because I do it more for fun than I do it as a job. Like, I actually have a job and a career. So it's not like the end of the world for me in terms of just trying to make money. I've been doing it more out of enjoyment and knowing that I'm helping people. That's been more of my, my purpose with this. But for other people, they're living off of YouTube. Like, this is their life. So you've got to understand there's a lot more to it for them. So I agree. There's way too many people out here lying to you as XRP holders, and you've got to understand there's a lot of misinformation out there. So my main thing that I will just say to you guys is just question things. That's it. Like, all I'm saying is, whenever you see people say, XRP is going to hit this price by this date, try and get the why. And even with the why, go and do your own research as to how realistic these things are. Go and look up the things that they're talking about. Use AI, like, ask questions. Find out things to figure out how realistic these things are. Because we can all like make these pie in the sky theories. Like, for example, with like Jay Claver, he said, if this and this happens, then XRP is going to go to $10,000. But how realistic are the things that you're saying? He has this domino theory, but how realistic is the domino theory? Because if you're saying, you know, things like, oh, if pigs fly and if, you know, we can all now teleport and if we can all like time travel, then XRP is going to go to $10,000. But, you know, how realistic are those things, right? Like, it's easy to say all these crazy theories as to why XRP can go to these high price points, but how realistic is it that those things are going to happen? And that's the thing. So, yeah, unfortunately, guys, there are a lot of people out there who are just out to deceive you. As you can see, there's been a few, you know, people who've got things wrong. I am going to cover this properly in a video in full. But yeah, I just wanted to go over this and just let you guys know that you just need to be wary. You do need to be wary. The fact is, when it comes to like a lot of these things, the truth is a lot more boring, unfortunately. XRP is a good crypto asset, but a lot of things that people, you know, talk about, it's just not realistic, guys. It's really not. So I'll leave it there, but I hope this helps for the people who are interested in hearing the truth. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell. Take care.